At Home with Lucas here. So today we're going to be talking about the Sunseeker X3 Plus robot lawnmower. Yes, people, I finally got my hands on a true, proper robot lawnmower, and as someone who's been cutting grass for more than over a decade, I can truly say that this thing looks absolutely amazing. It has the ability to run without wires. So if you're wondering what are wires, a lot of robot lawnmowers have to use wires to know where they are in the yard. You have to dig a bunch of trenches, put a bunch of metal wires down, and then it still doesn't work perfectly and it's not as safe. This thing, no wires whatsoever, absolutely amazing. It has a bump bar right on the front. It has a bunch of sensors like eyeballs straight on the front of it that look really, really cute. So it's not gonna harm your pets or any of your kids or any human. This thing will literally stop on a dime and wait until the person is out of the area. Not to mention the fact that it's super easy to map this thing. It's like driving a little RC car. You literally just drive it around your yard. Boom, you got it mapped, you're ready to go. It will also remove obstacles from the yard. So you just literally map the yard, it'll find a tree, it'll then map that, and then know that that's a tree and an obstacle to avoid. And the next time it goes to cut, it'll just go around it really quickly. The fact that it has a very, very long battery life, this thing can cut your grass for a very long time. So if you have a large yard, a medium yard, or a small yard, this thing is gonna work for you. Of course, you need to make sure it's not too small for your giant yard. So definitely double check that for sure. It doesn't have a normal blade on the bottom that spins around and makes a hurricane sound. This thing is absolutely silent. You won't even know it's cutting your grass until you see the blades of grass go shorter. It's quieter than my robot vacuum in my house. Yes, people, I am so hyped and I cannot wait to show you guys this device and I cannot wait to get this review going. So in this review, we're doing a hands-on with the box, quick unboxing and first impressions on said robot lawnmower. After that, I'm gonna be putting this bad boy to the At Home with Lucas test to figure out, is this something you should buy or maybe skip altogether? I'm here for you. You don't have to waste your time buying and returning. All right, let's go ahead and jump into it. How the beast comes right here. It might come in a different package for you, but this is how it came for me. So let's go ahead and get this thing unboxed and take a closer look. All right, so that is everything that comes in the box. You have the robot lawnmower right there. You have the charging station. You have a bunch of stuff over here that needs to be assembled. You have a bunch of power cables. So let's go ahead and get this thing all assembled and take a closer look. I got this thing charging up in the garage. I have the Wi-Fi right here. So we're going to jump into the Sunseeker app and we're going to get this thing paired up to our Wi-Fi and get a review in. I'm so excited, people. Let's go and walk around this bad boy right quick. So up at the front here, you have all of your main sensors right here. This is going to allow it to see the world around it in a very, very nice way. It also has a little bill on it right here, so it's gonna block the sun when it's directly on it. Here's your charging pads right here. This is what connects to the dock that's going to charge it. This is the bump bar, which we've all seen so many times on robot vacuums, which is really, really cool. And then you come over here to the giant tires. These are massive tires and they have really, really good grips on them. Coming around to the back, this is actually the handle right here where you can literally just pick this whole thing up super easily. Really nice. And then you have these pins right here that are going to allow for an accessory to go on. I don't know what that is just yet, but I will figure that out. This is where you get into the controls of this whole entire unit right here. Anytime you see any error code, you're just going to hit start. It's going to go back to idle. You can then hit home. It'll go back to the dock. And then you have your power and your OK right here. I love the fact that you can see the battery from pretty much anywhere. It's really nice. You also have your Wi-Fi indicator, and then this is the height cut right here. So you can drop it down to literally in between. This is so cool. Listen to that. you can get it precisely dialed in, which is really, really awesome. And they also have some QR codes up here to scan. Okay, this is where things get really, really different. This is not like a normal lawnmower out there. These are actually straight up razor blades, people. Yes, these are very, very strong, very powerful blades right here, and this thing spins around super fast, and because it's smaller, it doesn't make a huge amount of noise, which is really, really awesome. And then the back here, these are just spinning wheels. They have no motors or anything. You can literally take them off if you want. You have 2 push pins on either side. Push them in, take them off. And then this is the motor and power source of this whole thing right here. These tires, like I was saying a minute ago, super, super beefy. The way that they have the treads in between the treads on the other side, that's really, really smart. That's gonna allow this thing to not get stuck as easy as some of the other lawnmowers out there. So this is next level right here. Really, really awesome. So there you go. This thing definitely looks space age. It definitely looks really, really sleek. I love the fact that you have just 2 eyes on the front, gives it sort of a face. Really, really nice. So first impressions, I'm blown away by this thing right off the bat. Okay, coming over to the charging station, you have this really, really nice pad right here, especially designed for the wheels to grip on and pull itself right up. Then you have 2 giant charging pads right here, so it's not going to get a mischarge or anything like that. You have your indicator light right there. When that is flashing, that means it's charging. When it's solid, that means it's fully charged. You can literally see that super, super easily. You have the ability to put a bunch of stakes in here so it doesn't come off the ground. I only put in 2 just because I'm going to be moving this at some point. And then you have this super long power cable. Literally goes from there all the way down, all the way over here. Here's the brick to it. And then it plugs in right there. So that is quite amazing how long this thing is. And that's how the whole unit looks when it's sitting on the charging station. Doesn't really take up a huge amount of space. Really, really nice. Absolutely love it. So this is the thing that's going to allow you to basically map out your yard. It has GPS, it has Wi-Fi, it has another antenna on there, and then obviously the power. It uses 2.4 gigahertz and it uses 900 M right here. You have the ability to stake it straight into the ground. They say that you can put this thing up in your attic, you can put it on your roof, you can put it in many, many different locations. It also comes with a crazy long power cable, so you're really able to get it out there. And the cool thing is you can set this thing up, you can check the weakness level of it and move it around your yard until you see it stay strong. So the main thing that you're going to be probably doing with this and the robot lawnmower is you're going to be setting it up, mapping, checking the weakness level of the connectivity and the satellite connectivity, and then you're probably going to move this and you're probably going to move that. So it's one of those things where don't get too stressed when you're dealing with this. It is a definite work in progress. This is called the RTK, as you can see right here. And this tells you all the information you need to know about these flashing lights. And then the app also tells you a whole bunch. So this thing is really cool. It definitely connects to this pretty large yard that I have right here. Okay, so mapping this thing is super easy. It's just like driving an RC car. The controls on here are quite amazing. So you can literally just back up if you need to, turn it, and your goal is to basically get as much of the grass as possible. Some areas are a little bit more difficult, like this, where you have a sidewalk and you're just trying to make sure you don't miss the sidewalk. Then you're gonna go around the edge of the property, and as you can see on the map, it's doing an absolutely amazing job of mapping this. And if you want to set up zones, you can set those up super easily. So you could literally make part of your yard a zone and the other part of your yard another zone. So let's say you just wanted to mow this front patch right here and you didn't want to mow your side yard, you could set it up as a completely different zone. One of the good reasons for that, I've found, is that some areas grow faster than other areas. So you want it to basically be able to mow part of the yard perfectly when it's tall. So there you go. That is how you map. I I was totally blown away by the mapping on this. Really, really amazing, next level. Definitely something that I thought was gonna be way more difficult. You literally just outline, and then what it's gonna do is it's gonna go around that tree the very first time. It's gonna bump into it, use the bump stop, and then it's gonna learn that there's a tree there, save it into the map, and then the next time it will just go around that tree like it's nothing. Same with any obstacle in here. It'll try to bump it and figure out if it's actually a hard object like that, or if it's softer, it may just be grass and it'll go over it. So really, really awesome. The mapping is next level. It's super user-friendly. All right, let's talk about how well this thing mows. So I was absolutely blown away by how well it actually mows. It's done this yard a couple times since got it up and running. But what it does is it goes out to a certain point, it'll stop, and then it'll begin doing its work. And it really has a very, very smart brain to it that really allows it to cut the grass in a very precise way. And it actually can tackle some pretty tall grass. They do say you want to mow your grass fully down to about 3 inches before you start, but I found that the only reason you should do that is if you have big clumps. So let's talk about some big clumps. We'll go over here. So you can see it basically thought this was an object and went around it. So I'll just have to come over here with a mower or a trimmer and just flatten that down, and then the next time it's gonna go over it no problem. But this grass back here was pretty tall, and it was able to cut it really, really well. So I'm gonna give the ability to mow grass a solid 4.5 out of 5 stars. It's not gonna be that, absolutely amazing cut, but what you're getting is you're getting the ability to have your grass cut while you're doing something else, and you don't have to pay a company hundreds of dollars every month to do this. It's gonna do it on its own, and it's gonna do it in a way that is super, super nice, super simple. And it's just one of those things that I love cutting grass, but I love doing other things more. And as you can see here, it literally tackles pretty tall grass. And one of the things that I'm noticing is that I'll just have this thing mow a couple times a week, and that will actually get a more precise cut. So the first cut, you're probably gonna notice it's not the best, and you may have to go back and do a little bit of remapping. As you can see over here, it's missing the whole strip on the fence right here. So remapping is definitely something that you'll have to do. And the cool thing is when you do the remapping, it's going to add on to the existing zone automatically if you say go ahead. So really, really cool. Definitely a phenomenal mower. All you have to do now is trim and blow. So I feel like I'm retired from cutting grass. Another thing that's really cool, I don't know if it's going to show up on camera, but it definitely likes to make straight lines. As you can see here, it is trying to make straight lines, and I've had this thing for a very short amount of time, and I've gotten like maybe 3 or 4 updates. So they're constantly updating this thing, trying to make it the best of the best of the best. And each update really does make it better. It doesn't brick it or anything like that or cause any extra problems. But yeah, they're just getting more advanced with their cutting abilities and giving you more abilities to do more stuff. Let's see. Hello, buddy. Hello. So there you go. That is the cameras in action, making a wide berth. You see how far around me it went? That is really, really cool. And now, there it goes, right back on track. And then it'll come back through here and it'll pick up this spot that it missed later on. So that is really cool. And there you go, just like that. Super safe. And there you go. It's gonna go all the way around it, scanning it, and then go right back. So there you go, 2 different light angles, and it still saw the object that fell down and stopped completely, which is absolutely amazing. All right, so the way that it mows this front lawn is actually really nice. It definitely does a good job, and it's kind of like a robot vacuum in the way that it will change up its patterns. So grass is supposed to be cut differently every time you cut the grass, and so far this is the second time it's cut this front lawn, and it's definitely cutting it different this time than it did last time. So it seems to remember what cut it was last time, and then it's going to adapt and then cut it. And I like how it makes these stripes, so it really works hard to make these straight lines, which is actually really cool. Okay, let's talk about how well this thing climbs hills. So we have a pretty decent hill back here. It's nothing too crazy, but it is one of those hills that when you use a push mower, you really notice that you have to go up. But this thing is very smart in the way that it climbs, and it's had 0 problems climbing up this hill, which is really awesome. Sometimes it may get a little bit stuck, but it does a great job of just maneuvering a little bit, and then it gets back on track. So definitely going to give the hill climb on this bad boy a 4.8 out of 5 stars. So the way that this thing returns home is actually quite amazing. It will literally stop at nothing to get back to the dock. It'll maneuver around things multiple times just to figure out how to get itself back to the dock. I've had 0 problems where it's not able to get back to the charger, so that is actually quite amazing. I've dealt with a bunch of robot vacuums in my time, and those things always get stuck, always struggle, and can never find their way back to the charging station. But this thing will literally go around things, it'll figure out better pathways, and then it'll get right back to the charging station. So I'm going to give it a solid 5 stars for returning home. And it always locks in just like that.
Jump into the app real quick. So this thing is really nice. It has a giant start button, so you can literally just have it start mowing your grass the moment you open the app. You click on details. This is where you have a lot of the brains of this app. You click on this square right here. You can either do global, which is your whole zones, so all of them, or you click on zones. This is where I live. I love to be able to just tap, click on a zone, tap, click on a zone. I can do 2 zones at once. I can do 1 zone at a time, and it'll tell you how many hours it's going to take, which is absolutely amazing. It also gives you an estimate of the square foot of your yard. So it's not a 100% accurate square footage, but it is definitely close enough that you could literally go buy your lawn products off of this right here. 6,057.88 feet. 2 hours and 17 minutes to do my entire yard. Then you have the RC car. You could click on here and you can literally drive this thing around like an RC car, which is really awesome. You have map management, RTK. And then down here, you can set up your schedules. Yes, you can schedule this mower, which is absolutely amazing. You can check your work logs, all the errors, all the problems that it's had. You can then jump in the top right corner where you have your battery percentage, your Wi-Fi, and your Bluetooth. Then in the top corner, you click on the gear icon. This is for work right here. So your schedule, your map management, your mowing speed. Yes, people, you can adjust the mowing speed, which is really awesome. You can also adjust how well it cuts. So you can have it cut standard or wide. Then you can have it cut in different directions, which is really, really awesome. You can even customize the directions that you want your mower to cut. So they're really giving you all of the skills and abilities in this app. You have zones right here. You click on this, you can adjust each zone. So you can customize each zone to whatever setting that you want. So if you want the front yard to be cut really fast, but the backyard to be cut slow, you can of course do that. You can have it edge every time, which means it'll literally go to the edge every single time, get as close as possible, or you can have it go on the second time, which means it's going to mow quicker, and then every third time. Then you have the AI sensitivity. You can set it to normal, or you can have it on bright mode. I'm gonna leave it on bright mode for now, just because it has a few more safety features. You can have a gentle pass for optical avoidance, or a slow pass, which is awesome. And then rain delay, that is so cool. Then you click on device. You can go to device info right here. You can get your antenna updates right here. And your firmware updates for your mower right here. So this thing is packed full of a lot of user-friendly, very, very simple, user-friendly tools right here. It's very awesome. And then of course, if you have two mowers, boom, you just add a second one right there. And now you have two mowers. If you have a large yard, or you have one for the front that's special to the front, and one that's special to the back. So that's really awesome. Everything about this app just works. You have the me section and the home section, and they're only improving it. This mower's gotten updates, the app's gotten updates. They're really kicking butt on this. So I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5 stars for user-friendly app.
Okay, I've been using this thing for long enough that I think I have a full star rating. Let's start off with the build quality. So this is definitely plastic on plastic on plastic, but it does have metal where it's needed, which is really awesome. This is definitely on the more premium side of plastic, so it's not just gonna fade and look terrible in a matter of months and years. It's definitely something that's gonna hold up for the long term. The wheels on this thing are really awesome. They're big enough to go over pretty much anything that's gonna be in your yard. The ability for this thing to cut your grass really, really fast and efficient is really awesome. You're not going to get that premium, amazing cut, but you're also not going to have to be out there in the sun and the heat and the sweat busting your butt to mow your grass. This thing's gonna do it for you. So you are gonna get a little bit less of a premium cut, but what you're gonna gain is time, and time is so valuable nowadays. So this thing is absolutely amazing. The ability for it to get back to the charger and charge, it charges up fast. It's never had a mischarge or a problem charging since I've had this for a couple weeks now. Truly 5 out of 5 stars in my book. It does have a few drawbacks here or there, but the benefits of this thing are going to push you into the 5-star realm, and you're going to say, this is an amazing, amazing mower right here. If you stack it up to other mowers that are in a higher class than this, I'm going to say maybe it doesn't stack up and it's not as premium and not as amazing. But for me personally, this is a game changer. Going from a push mower to this, I'm blown away. Truly 5 out of 5 stars. Highly recommended to everyone out there. Buy it.
All right, there you go. That's the Sunseeker robot lawnmower. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely clear to click that like button. And if you want to join the Adam Lucas family and you want to be a part of this crew, smash that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.